Hello, everyone. Myself, Kiran, and I have a very special guest with me, Al Mulligan and Melissa Gerard, who hold senior positions with government in in capital city of Canada in Ottawa, and they have acquired many properties and they have multiple experience, whether it was active experience, active investing or passive investing experience. And really excited to have you guys.
Thank you so much. It's
Thanks
our
for having
absolute
us.
pleasure. Thank you for welcoming me to your podcast.
Yeah.
Yes. So how has been your experience into real estate, and how you guys got into real estate
Mhm.
from share your journey with us.
Absolutely.
Well, November 2020, we
Mhm.
were in the pandemic, kind of closed out, and Melissa and I decided to just
Mhm.
learn about real estate. You hear
Mhm.
about real estate being able to help people grow outside the norm, and I was pretty attracted to that. So I found a training. I let Melissa know, and she was sold from there.
Yeah, so we really took that time to the pandemic, that quiet time, to just really expand
Mhm.
some of our knowledge in terms of how to gain additional streams of income, and then find different networks and different mentorings that work for us.
Mhm.
And so we've gone through a few mentorings. And I encourage anybody out there who is listening to this podcast and starting to become a little bit curious towards
Mhm.
real estate investing and whatnot, to start, poking your nose around and asking people who are in it, what networks have you joined? What mentorings have you gone after? What education have you sought after? Because
Mhm.
what worked for us may not work for you.
Mhm.
And we were really fortunate during that down period to really kind of dip our fingers and toes into different pots of education
Mhm.
and pots of knowledge that
Mhm.
really gave us the desire and that curiosity to keep going with real estate investing.
Nice, that's great. And how is your so you guys have been both passive and active investors, right? So what tip would you give somebody who is looking into being a passive investor? And like for the audience, passive investing is when you are part of the deal and your role is not finding the deal, and your role is not like you are investing your capital, you're hands off from the deal. And on the active side, you are responsible for bringing the deal on the table, getting through the financing, and making sure that this is the right product, right property, going through the insurance and doing your own diligence, making sure we focus on capital preservation and appreciation on the property, right? So what tip would you give, if somebody's looking into being an active investor or passive investor?
Absolutely. So for our journey, we
Mhm.
started as passive investors, and for us, it really gave us an opportunity to, have a little bit of momentum in the industry,
Mhm.
while we acquired all the knowledge we felt we needed to shift from passive to active. So I recommend, for anyone out there who is interested in real estate, start on the passive side.
Mhm.
Find out different ways that you can invest, and because there are more ways to invest than you might think. Here's a little tip. You can invest with your registered funds, and a lot of people don't know that. And so
Yeah.
that's where we started. Did you want to touch a little bit about the different deals we started
Mhm.
with
Mhm.
passively?
Yeah. So first of all, we found out about registered funds, and
Mhm.
so we didn't have too much because we have a pension. So we decided, okay, let's just get that started. So we
Mhm.
got it started on a private REIT. Then we had a few savings. We had a bit of savings because we were saving for our wedding and saving for our house. But this money was just waiting. So we're trying to find out, okay, so what can we use such as money? So yes, there's savings, but there's HELOCs. You
Mhm.
use part of your home equity line of credit.
Mhm.
You can use lines of credit. You can use investment cards. Um, as a mentor would say,
Which is credit cards.
which are credit cards.
For people who don't.
Yes, but you have to be very, very careful and making sure that you make a profit out of between the interest rate that you borrow versus the interest rate that you would receive in return. So learning all the means of using your money to invest in real estate, so you can also tap into that time and money freedom slowly but surely.
So more
Nice.
than just that, I mean, that's the super exciting thing about passive investing is finding the different ways that you can invest. But we would be remiss not to talk about the due diligence and some of the risks behind it. So I think it's really important for anybody who's interested to learn about the due diligence, learn how to go through that process, to make sure that you really feel comfortable with what's happening within the deal. You know, you wouldn't want to invest passively in any deal that you wouldn't want to acquire the building, because if things do go south, one of the ways that you can secure your investment is to be, you know, to be entitled to that property if things go awry. So make sure that you are interested enough in the deal not only to invest in it passively, but also to love the deal enough so that if something happened, you know, you would be, in the worst case, acquiring that piece. And so for us, that was really our journey to get things going, was to start off passively.
Also, I'll add that you need to do your own due diligence on the person you're investing with. It's like getting in a relationship. Things can go bad when anything surrounds about money. So essentially doing your due diligence on the person, making sure that you share your values, the same values. That's so important. So
it's a good point, because you're going to be with that person for a long time. You know, if some deals go for years and years and years, and if it's a private lending, then, you know, you get your money back. But if you're turning over to equity, it could be 20 plus years where you're with that partner. So absolutely good point.
I agree. And then I was sitting on a dinner table with a couple of other investors, and the one point that really struck my mind. And the person said that, you know, in real estate, you need to think about what is more important. Is a horse more important or jockey? And I said, horse. You know, he's gonna win the race. And he said, no, you're wrong. And I said, why I'm wrong? You know, like horse is doing all, you know, horse is responsible. Horse is doing the work. And he said, no, jockey is going to guide. Jockey is the one training the horse. So in real estate, horse is a deal and jockey is a working partner. So it's not about the deal. It's never about the deal. It is all about the working partner.
The driver of the deal. That. Yes.
I love that. And you can really, you know, see that for people who are seasoned investors. Often they want to know very little, you know, seasoned investors, again, not new investors, but those who have been around quite a bit. They will eventually just do due diligence on the person, so the active partner, and then just give them the money and put trust in the person, right? So I can see how that relates to that. It's a great analogy. Thank you for sharing.
Right. And then it's you know, anybody can buy the property, and if they are not paying attention to the maintenance, and if the working partner is not making sure we have enough reserve for capital expenditure, or, you know, like roof getting patches, or, you know, gutters getting clean, and even like planets are cleaning, right? Like so many things can go wrong. And it's all about, you know, now you are the working partner, you are responsible for taking care of those things. So I feel like really, really important, you know, just don't look at the deal itself, like, you know, what interest rate I'm able to get on private lending, what is my cash on cash return, what is the return on equity, because the number can look great on a deal, but it's all about acquisition. And, you know, like, what are you going to do to the property, right? Like, really amazing investor will turn a bad deal into a really good deal, right?
Absolutely. Yes. And it's for years to come. And it's how well someone goes about managing the deal on a regular basis, every month, every every year, what are we doing to look at how we can maximize this opportunity, right? So absolutely, I love that.
Nice. And how was your experience being an active investor and you own Magnetic Ventures? And what is this corporation? What does it mean and what are their vision? And yeah.
So Magnetic Ventures for us is a title we came up with because we want to attract. We want to attract the right partners. We want to attract the right investors. We want to attract the right properties. So we felt this
Magnetic.
title really encompassed who we are, which is a big reflection in terms of who we are as individuals, who we are as a couple, and how we are together within our business. And in terms of our active side, I think we bring a lot of experience, again, stemming from that passive starting point to knowing what it's like to be the one lending the money, knowing what it's like to be the one asking the questions, knowing what it's like to be the one uncertain about, how to move forward. So we really feel that with that experience, we're enabled to really embody what the investor is going through and then be able to support them through the various steps because it's not as easy as just handing over money. There's a lot more due diligence, there's lawyers involved, there's all kinds of checkpoints that one must go through, and so the more we can do to support them through that journey, we feel not only touches proper client relations, but really undermines our values as Magnet Ventures.
Yeah.
Right.
And we have a motto, build wealth, pay it forward. So essentially that's what we want to do. We want to give back in different ways, either in learning, teaching, share the wealth.
Financial contributions to communities and
yes.
And different what's the word I'm thinking for? Different organizations that need support. So we'd like to be able to give financial contributions to that too. So it's about donating money where we can't give, and then making sure that we give in a way that we can when we can actually be the front end people doing the giving.
Nice. That's great. And what project are you working on now?
So we have a couple on the go right now. We are raising capital for a project out in Edmonton. We are currently looking at one of our own existing properties and just taking a look at its current state and trying to come up with the best and most valuable use of the lawn, the land, the current structure that's there, deciding if we want to, tear down the walls and bring in more doors, or go all out and tear down the building and rebuild. So there's a lot of ideas happening right now, and we will certainly be reaching out to a lot of people, such as yourself, Kiran, who has properties that have gone over major overhauls, and really tap into people's experience and to see what they did. And not all the ideas need to be generated in your own head. Reach out to people who've done it before and start, pulling from them, because that's the beauty of this network. That's the beauty of podcasts like this, right? Is share what you're going through, share your experience, and hope that maybe it reaches somebody. And when you're in need, same idea is reach out and hopefully gain a little bit from their experience.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I agree. Yes. So anybody who is looking to, invest into Edmonton, and it's amazing, because you guys have experience, and it's all about how can somebody compress the time, like learning, it takes time, experience takes time, and we only life expectancy is not like infinite, right?
Yeah.
We need to compress time. How can we make best use of our time and money and our skills?
Be curious. If you can't get into mentoring, or if you don't have the financial means to, find a membership or whatnot, join other real estate investors and meetups. Have conversations with fellow investors that have a little bit more experience. Ask them about their journey. Real estate investors love talking about real estate. So, just ask questions. put yourself and
Yeah.
embrace yourself into the middle of a network or meetups or whatever, and just throw yourself in there and start asking questions, because people will answer.
Absolutely. And I'll add that Melissa and I, because a lot of folks have been asking us, family, friends, they've been asking us, like, what are you guys doing? And what is occupying your time? And so we've been talking about real estate, and so what we did is we put a deck together, an Investor 101 deck, where
Nice.
people can book a call with us, and we can just tell them all about private lending and real estate as a whole, really, and to see how we can help them in gaining more time and money freedom again. Always coming down to that, but also sharing ideas and really providing them with not the dream, but the opportunity to potentially change something in their lives, to just want to just keep them curious and to keep them wanting to know more.
I agree. Perfect. Yeah, thank you. And you guys are in a great market, hottest market in the country so far.
Thank you.
Edmonton is a really great market, and it's all about what can you do to the property on, bringing the highest and best use on that. And yeah, thank you so much for coming. So, any last tip for our investors, our listeners?
And I've said it before and I'll say it again, but just be curious, ask questions, reach out to anybody who's identifying as a real estate investor, and book time with them. Most real estate investors will, have an introduction call for like 15 minutes. Start filling up your time, your free time, with having conversations with people who you admire and people who are at a place where you want to get to. And it'll start to wet your whistle a little bit, and it won't be long before you're having those conversations yourself with somebody who's new.
Yeah, and if people want to reach out to us or book a call and learn about our Investor 101, we have our Calendly up on our Facebook page, Mission Mel REI. There is a link tree, and if you click on that, then you'll get all of our social media.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So reach out if you have any questions for private lending or active investor, any questions, and it's all about growing together, and we all have same goal, right? So thank you so much
Absolutely.
for
Thank
listening.
you so much, Kiran, for having us
Thank you
as
so
guests.
much.
Okay, thank you.